Welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic.
Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Legacy at the request of Patreon subscriber Heinz, and I am playing Painter Servant combo featuring Chaos Defiler. This card has existed for quite some time now, but it is newly on Magic Online, less than a week since release. And as we all know, Legacy works like friendships, social media it is real, online stuff is real, and meat space is fake. Therefore, Chaos Defiler is a new card that I'm going to try today. 3 red-black artifact creature -- demon construct. 5/4 trample. When it enters the battlefield or dies, for each opponent, choose a non-land permanent that player controls, destroy one of them at random. In a 1 versus 1 player game, this is just Vindicate, destroy target non-land permanent version of Vindicate, on enters the battlefield and on death. This is very powerful versus stuff like Null Rod, Rest in Peace. You could put it in off Show and Tell and kill whatever they put in. Also just take the pressure off a big ol' Murktide Regent. There's a lot going on with this card just on its face, and then if you account for all the things that this deck actually does, primarily Goblin Welder, choose target artifact a player controls and an artifact in their graveyard. If both targets are still legal as this ability resolves, that player sacrifices the one in play and returns the one from the graveyard to the battlefield. That counts as dying. That means you could flip Chaos Defiler in and out of play every turn and kill something going in, kill something going out. That makes it basically impossible for any opponent to do anything in this format. I guess like Storm could go over the top over you, but most people are trying to have a permanent in play at some point in the game. And this is a very cool, tutorable catch-all, as well as a insano engine if you have your pieces come together. This particular build of Painter, I just pulled this from a 5.0 deck dump because it looked pretty cool. Heinz didn't have a specific list he wanted to see. This list is Mardu. The black is just for Chaos Defiler, technically Leyline of the Void, but that's not a black card, don't tell me it is. Important to note, the lands can't make black in this deck. There are 3 Mountain Plains dual lands, including the Elegant Parlor, but the black from Chaos Defiler has to come from a Lotus Petal, Mox Opal, Goblin Shaman token, or it has to just be cheated into play somehow. Just be aware of that when you're playing the deck. What I think is cool about this list is Enlightened Tutor has expanded the tutor package. This is not a card I normally like. In fact, this is one of the most requested cards in my comments. Anytime I play a deck with any artifact or enchantment in it, the comments are like, hey, what about Enlightened Tutor? Well, let me tell you, Enlightened Tutor is card disadvantage built in. The card you search for goes to the top of your deck, not to your hand. Enlightened Tutor doesn't even replace itself. So you better be doing something really powerful with it. You can't just put it in a control deck with counterbalance that's trying to go up on cards over a long game. However, this is the type of shell where it might be reasonable. Because in addition to the obvious Painter Servant Grindstone win the game AB combo, we also have Feathersworn Canonist for combo matchups, Ensnaring Bridge for attacking matchups, Phyrexian Dragon Engine to grind when we're behind, a Blood Moon in the main. That's fun. That card is powerful and it doesn't usually show up till sideboards. Fable the Mirror Breaker, and of course, that boy himself, Chaos Defiler. Lots of ways to tutor. I don't know if the tutor's worth the extra color. I think white, actually. Like, this is an important thing to say, too. When Chaos Defiler was actually printed in paper, people were like, Rakdos Painter's the truth now. Get on board, choo-choo. But then 4th Aerolingus came out a few months later, and I think that is probably, like, red-white is kind of the default Painter list in my mind at this point, and this particular build is trying to be toolboxy at the cost of 4th Aerolingus. You could literally cut these 2 Enlightened Tutors and put 2 4th Aerolingus in the deck, and it might actually be better. But I want to try this. I want to see how this feels. And because I'm playing this deck to showcase a new card, this is just 2 more ways to tutor it, and hopefully we see it more often. This is Mardu Painter. Let's get into it. The NYSE Open is a prestigious, long-running vintage tournament based out of New York City. It's returning again this summer, June 22nd, 2024 in Plainview, New York. This 15 proxy event has a $500 entry. That's a lot of money, but what are we playing for? First place gets a Black Lotus. 2nd through 8th place get Time Twister, Time Walk, and all 5 Moxen. At 115 players, a playset of Bizarre Baghdad is added to the prize pool. At 135, 4 Mishra's Workshops. At 155, 4 Foil Gaia's Cradle. This prize pool is better than Eternal Weekend. If you think it's worth playing for, sign up for the event on melee.gg or use the link in the video description, and I will definitely see you there. I'm on the play in round 1, and this is not a turn 1 Fable. It's not even a turn 2 Fable unless I draw a mana source. Ooh, that's tough. Painter players will have to weigh in, but I think this is a mulligan. As Mox Opal, we're not an 8-cast deck. We don't have that many artifacts to turn it on. There's 1 more Lotus Petal, 2 Grindstones, and a Soul Guide Lantern in my deck, and 2 Great Furnaces. So, like, we're not drawing that heavy to actually turn this thing on turn 2. And if I use the Petal to shove Painter on turn 1, then I'm further away from Metalcraft, and I don't have Lotus Petal anymore. I think I got them all this. Which sucks, because I am excited to be keeping hands that have a bunch of Fables in them. This one I'll keep. I think I'm going to bottom 1 of the Great Furnaces. I could bottom Enlightened Tutor. I just had that whole speech in the deck tech about Enlightened Tutor, and it is card negative. I'm not specifically looking for anything right now, artifact-wise. And I'm already on a Maul. Yeah, I'm actually going to ship that. Bloodstained Mire and pass. I'm excited to do some Fable gaming. I'm usually on the other side, rolling my eyes at how good this card is and losing to it as a blue deck. Or spending 3 cards to answer it. Okay, they had land go. I'm going to fetch and hope they don't stifle me. I'll get the Plateau. I'm already in trouble to Wasteland. And send it on the Fable. Don't daze me, bro. Force Will's fine. At least I got 2 cards out of this. Pitch DeLorean revealed. We're getting a fetch. About to learn a little more about this deck. Underground Sea. Ponder. Could still be Sultai. Didn't shuffle. Scalding Tarn. That's not usually in Sultai Beans. It doesn't fetch Bayou. Cool. Alright. Well, I'll play a Goblin Welder and hope to find some engines. With Goblin Welder just sitting in play and Great Furnace, Goblin Engineer off the top just starts Chaos Defiling or Dragon Engineering right away. It's a bad time to see a Witherbloom command. Orcish Bowmaster, yep, that sucks too. It's tough out here for X1s, especially on turn 3. If this Welder was in my opening hand, I don't know. It wouldn't do anything this game. It could have turned my land into a Lotus Petal, which is a strictly worse land. Soul Guide Lantern, alright. Let's poke this graveyard. I'll take Ponder out of there. I'm not ready to Fury their stuff yet, which is too bad because I would like to draw a card with the Soul Guide Lantern. How many Soul Lands are in this deck? 4 or 5? There's 5 Soul Lands, so I have 5 outs to just cast Fury here. And if I draw anything like Fable, then we're closer to business. Beans! I think whoever popularized this Sultai Beans deck should apologize. It's really good. Scalding Tarn. Okay, I can fetch the... Oh, I could have actually fetched the Surveil land on turn 1 for a little card selection. I'm going to do it now, but I could have done it turn 1. I didn't do anything with my Plateau. You have 5 mana now. I'm going to have to counter a Lorien Revealed. Just not beating 4 cards here. This might also be Murktide. I would strongly prefer Murktide Reason to Lorien Revealed here. I guess they draw the same number of cards and both die. So maybe it's the same. Alright, counter Murktide Regent. You get to draw a card. Then I'll just do a little Surveil ski in the end step. Maybe get Fury online. Fetch, Surveil, Grindstone. That card is not useful to me right now. Another Pyroblast. Alright, we're back in the trenches. Really sucks when Murktide Regent draws a card, even when you answer it right away. Busted interaction. Oh no, more of this. I do have the option here to crack Soul Guide Lantern and draw a card and just take a damage to do it. Oh my goodness. Opponent said, get off my lawn. B5 faux fum. I am technically a combo deck, if I can get anything going here. Oh no. That post-combat land represents a second Bowmaster. Alright, I'm going to draw a card. I don't think I'm winning if I just hold still into these Beanstalks, and if they play a second Bowmaster, I'll just Fury that one too. Found a Fable. Not really what I wanted. But it's fine. It's a good card. Okay, Fury to relieve pressure. Or now I could Fable with Pyroblast available. I'd hate to turn on Daze this late in the game, but I'd also hate to just lose when my opponent has permanents I could kill. I'm going to start with this. Build Force Cestral Recall. I will Pyroblast the Force. Show me that Spell Pierce. I'll concede right now, I promise. Boros Painter is actually the deck that knocked me out of Eternal Weekend in my top 8 win in it. I was on Sultai Beans and I was playing against Boros Painter. So the matchup has been flipped here. And I do think it's favored for Beans, but it can go wrong for Sultai if you just don't have the Bowmaster or the Witherbloom command right away, and then the Goblin gets to start doing stuff. That's how you lose if an engine sticks. But my opponent, as you can see, I have 2 Fable of the Mirror Breakers and a Goblin Welder answered already. That's how they win. I'm not going to concede when I could still cast Fury here. A Murktide draw 3 is definitely going to beat me, though. Oh, baby. Would you like to draw 6? There's not even a card I can call this. I don't think there's a card in Magic that has the text draw 6 cards on it. Somebody do a Scryfall search, let me know. I know there's destroy 6 creatures. That's Hex. Wasteland, oh no. Okay, wasting me off. Plateau. They have to go to discard. It's like they didn't even draw that card. Sucker. Okay, we're playing around Daze. And going to 6 life for the pleasure against this 7 card hand from the opponent. Alright, Fury resolved. We'll take it. Okay, somehow their hand is not going to be a Murktide Regent, a Murderous Cut, a Sheoldred's Edict, a Lorien Revealed, another Bowmaster. Those are all the things it can't be. I'm just naming all the cards in their deck, because they can't beat any of them. How many Red Blasts are in my main deck? I've used 2 already. There's 2 left. That's how I can beat a Murktide still. There is the Murktide. Casually at 10 cards in hand over there. Surely none of them is a Murderous Cut. They made a baby Murktide, which means they're going to Murderous Cut my Fury and make it a big Murktide. Mystic Sanctuary. They should probably pick up Force of Will instead of Lorien Revealed here. I can't imagine they need more cards. Yeah, okay. This grows Murktide also. I'm 1 point away from dead on board. The Fury is a trade still. Ponder's going to pick up Force of Will. Now I can't cast spells. I can cast them. They won't resolve. Witherbloom command just shrunk Fury. Interesting. Are they doing like 3 of these? Oh, they're just draining my face out. Okay. It's a -3/1. And I'm at 2. Pyroblast? Okay. We're dead. Okay. Somebody yelled at me the other day. And for what it's worth, I think they are wrong and silly. That I should let every Magic Online opponent make a mistake. Or try to make a mistake. Even when the play is insanely obvious. And look, they didn't trade, so I'll concede. In paper, like, depending on what we're doing, like, is it the Pro Tour? Am I going to play to every single out? Like, versus F&M, where it's like your opponent's not going to forget to attack. Give it a friggin' break. You don't have to be a weirdo about it. Okay. I definitely like Magus of the Moon. That's what I'm worried about when I'm playing this deck. Every time I'm on Sultai Beans and an opponent leads on Leyline of the Void, I'm like, okay, that's a 6-card hand. This is slightly disruptive to Sultai Beans, but it's not worth diluting the hits in your deck or making weird mulligan decisions over. Hard pass. And Fury really only answers Bowmaster. It's rarely going to get a Murktide. Pyroblast is fine. It answers Murktide and Force of Will and does stuff when you have a Painter in play. I don't think it's high impact, though. Do I want Thorns? Probably not. I imagine that's specifically for combo. Torpor Orb does very little in the matchup. It hurts me more than hurts them. Pithing Needle on Wasteland is not nothing. I don't think I want it. Yeah, I'm just going to keep it light. +2 Magus of the Moon here. Fury is a standalone banger, though. If we just get into the grindy mid-game and I just spend 5 mana on this thing, that's a way to do it. All right, I'm going +1 Fury. Let's go. Okay, this hand has a Grindstone in it, and a Goblin Welder, and a metric ass load of mana. I cannot keep this hand. Yeah, I'm going to mulligan this. There's worlds where I can get into Grindstoning myself and try to spike something, but that assumes they have no removal spell, no counter spell, no Wasteland. Okay, here we go. Painter into Painter. I can at least start off with a banger each time. Painter. I'm going to paint everything. Ooh, if I paint everything red, that makes Hydroblast really good. If I paint everything blue, it makes my Pyroblast better, but also they can bitch anything to Force of Will. I think blue's still the right number. Yeah, the number blue. Blue's my favorite number. None of their removal is gated on color. Like, they don't have snuff outs. Everything. I can't, like, paint it black and dodge removal. All right. Just getting wasted. That's fine. I do have lands to play the game with. Oh, baby. Here we go. Can I resolve this? Do you have the force right now? Okay. Flip side of what happened last game where we got picked apart by a much better mid-range deck than us is you're in check. If I have 3 mana, you lose. And they have fatal pushes. They have force of vigor. It's not like a lock here, but it is pretty good. That's an exciting draw also. Now I have multiple angles of attack going. I'm just going to get a basic mountain. Unless I get stifled, then I get nothing. Okay, basic mountain. I'm going to repaint her here. I don't want Wasteland setting me back. I'm likely to moon anyway if the game goes long. I'm not going for a plateau here and just opening myself up to a bunch of nonsense. Just going to paint it blue again. No reason to get weird about it. Cycling Lorien revealed. They got a Trop. This would be a great turn to draw a land because Witherbloom Command killing Grindstone cuts my plan out from under me, and if I can flip it and Magus them while the shields are down, that's insane. Good list play to Dismember though, so Magus is not that big of a threat if the deck is constructed and sideboard used correctly. Blue-black in the pool. Oh, Petty Theft. This is a desperate play, and I like it. It's good for me. This is not a card I've played in Salty Beans. Ancient Tomb off the top for GG. Ancient Tomb. Pyroblast. Okay, I mean, I'll take that. I can win a fight over this Grindstone. I can also blow up their lands. I'm just going to leave Pyroblast up. I think that's the best thing to do rather than aggressively vindicating a land here. I don't even know which color they care about, etc., etc. Wasteland will find no purchase here. Ancient Tomb or City of Traders are still the best draws in my deck. If I can activate Grindstone with Pyroblast up, we're in business. Ancient Tomb, baby! Okay, I'm going to attack and then grind them out. I think I'm supposed to grind in their upkeep in case they stifle it. If they Wasteland in the end step, I'll just send it there. Cycling Lorien revealed. Okay, that doesn't change anything. Okay, blast you. Let me see that deck. They can kill one painter here. If they kill both, I have to fight over it. This doesn't work. Sorry, homie. Resolves. Yeah, this is a layers thing. Dress down does not stop Painter Servant. You can dress down Painter Servant on the way in, and then it doesn't get to name a color, but it doesn't stop it once it's chosen a color. Like, typesetting versus color changing are on different layers. Or ability having versus color changing. Let's look at that deck, since we get a peek at it. Pernicious Deed, Witherbloom Command, Dismembers in, 2 Dismembers, good job. 2 Hydroblasts, 3 Hydroblasts, wow. We've entered a hateful zone here. Opponent says they knew how that worked, just wanted to see if Magic Online did. Fair. So I actually think I boarded wrong, and I should have cut a plow over the first Pyroblast. They do have blue spells like Force of Will and Murktide, even if I'm not doing Painter stuff. But Pyroblast kills their most important creature. I don't care that much about Orcish Bowmaster. I care a lot about Murktide Region, and this is the same thing. Pyroblast also gets Leovold. I just looked at their deck, didn't bother to check for one of those. Okay, I think this is better. Let's go. Okay, this hand jams a Magus and a Fable. I'll keep it. We're just jamming. Basic Island on the jump. Good start. They shuffled their Ponder. Or no, they didn't. They did not. Reading is hard. Blue is my favorite number. Mountain Go. I just noticed that Fable of the Mirror Breaker actually has a different border than the other cards in my hand. It's gray, and every other border in my hand is jet black. I'm moderately tilted by that. Okay, I'm going to send a Fable. Hydroblast gets anything here. Yep, there it goes. They have a lot of those. I think it's safe to say their respect is in the right place. Blood Moon, Initiative, those sort of things are among the bigger worries when you're a Salty Beans gamer. Wasteland, okay. I have a lot of lands. That's not something I'm particularly worried about at this moment. Ooh. Now I have to decide. Do I want to jam Big Magus or try to set up engines? I'm just going to try to jam Big Magus. Don't get me. This is such a heater if it resolves. The days. Yep, I turned that on. Okay, next turn I can double Goblin, get some stuff going. Maybe a Chaos Defiler? More likely Dragon Engine from this board, though. It's also important that Chaos Defiler can't be brought back with Goblin Engineer, because it's mana value 3 or less, which means that my Dragon Engine is stickier through a removal spell. I'm going to sandbag my artifact lands, because we've seen Pernicious Deed, and they do die to that. I really should have screenshotted their deck. I'm thinking about Nihil Spellbomb right now. I'm thinking about a lot of stuff that we literally just looked at their deck. Engineer resolves. I would like to put Phyrexian Dragon Engine. Just double checking, but fairly confident that's the one. And I'll play a Goblin Welder. All of it around days, now that they've already used their days. I don't have any artifacts in play, though. They don't know I'm holding 2 Great Furnaces, which can flip things pretty quick. Like, the temptation to hold your removal spell and kill a goblin in response to an artifact, even Lotus Petal uses the stack, but Great Furnace doesn't. This looks like a Witherbloom command. Killing Goblin Welder, getting back Wasteland. It's a good play. There it goes. Luckily, I'm not super worried about this. I can still Dragon Engine and have a new hand. I'd love to draw a Fable or another Blood Moon here, though. This is the spot where it might get good. A big Fable. I kind of want this Ancient Tomb in play also. I jam the Fable. As they've wasted me so many times, they're likely to do it again. And just get it, like, if I had gone straight for Dragon Engine this turn, I have to lose my Ancient Tomb to do it, because my land is my artifact. I was a force pitching force on my Fable. And if I untap with 5 mana and nothing good in my hand, oh no! This Dragon Engine might show up someday. It's way more important to get Saga going. First appearance of Saga, by the way. I will not be attacking into Orcish Bowmaster. No thank you. And this is another aspect of being Sultai Beans versus Painter. They wastelanded 3 Ancient Tombs this game. Or no, they milled over one of these. They wastelanded 2 Ancient Tombs and I just played Urza Saga. It's tough to know when you want to keep them off 3 mana versus when you want to make sure they don't get this busted engine going. A Great Furnace. Play Grindstone. Just getting all the pieces together now. You're in trouble all of a sudden. You may discard your hand if you do draw 3 cards. Okay. Dragon Engine is optional. That's good to know in Bowmaster's world. Not a decision I have to make until Dragon Engine's in play. Pernicious Deed would be a nightmare here. Mystic Sanctuary is picking up Witherbloom command. That kills Grindstone and picks up Wasteland. Nothing I can do about this. Oh, I can Grindstone them before they draw it. Is that actually good or is it just cute? I don't think I care about that. It is there, though. No, that's not actually card advantage. Because they still draw a card for their turn, and I lose out on Urza Sagaing. And when they target Grindstone with Witherbloom, I can flip that instead of my land. Yeah, this is going to be fine. I lose Urza Saga because they're going to waste it. This also, importantly, taps them out of black, which means they can't Bowmaster me in this moment, which means I'm going to get to draw 3 cards, unless they stifle me. Something's happening. Dress down. Okay. All right, yeah, that works. That also... So, I mean, this timing is nice because that means I don't lose 2 life for my Ancient Tomb. I still have a 2/2 double strike. It didn't draw many cards. This Witherbloom command's going to pick up Wasteland and then waste my Saga. And I can't make a construct because it would just die. But if I didn't have this scary ETB ability, this was a fun turn. There are a lot of decisions to make, starting with the Mystic Sanctuary, and then we end up here with the Dress Down, and that's cool. Yeah, that's gone. And now I have an artifact in play worth flipping around, and the means to flip it. Can I find something else to build out this engine? Looks like no. I'll just attack for 4, though. That's not the worst thing I've ever done in my life. Opponent said in chat they thought Dragon Engine would still die even if they dress down. They just got their wires crossed on Unearth. It was not unearthed. It just came into play from Goblin Engineer's ability. It would still die if you unearth it and it gets dressed down. But that's not what happened. Now I think I'm just going to leave my permanents in play where they are. I could flip Dragon Engine into Grindstone, slow grind my opponent once, and then go to my turn and flip Grindstone back into Dragon Engine. But if I flip Dragon Engine into Grindstone, and then they just Fatal Push my Engineer, I have nothing going on. I can actually unearth the Dragon Engine. I would love a Shieldred's Edict. Just put this in the graveyard somehow for me. Witherbloom Command, draining and milling. Okay, they're still on the Wasteland strat. Okay, still coming for my mana here. Do they want to take me off white or off artifact? Oh, just raw volume. That's fine. 1, 2, 3. I'm actually going to do the flip now that they have tapped out of stuff. I would like to reload my hand, and they still have Dismember and Hydroblast, which would be bad for me here. Oh no, I fell for it. Stifle's really bad too. Stifle's actually the worst one. Then I get nothing. I don't even get a Grindstone. I've also seen Petty Theft. Okay, Hydroblast. I narrated that and then just walked into it anyway. And I am going to slow grind them. They do use their graveyard as a resource, but also decking is an issue sometimes. Get a little of this, a little of that with it. Painter Servant off the top. I'll take Urza Saga. Not going to complain. And then Dragon Engine. I'll reload my hand here when they can't dress me down, or Bowmaster. Yes, please. 3 new cards. Blood Moon, Painter Servant. Okay. I can threaten the win whenever at this point. The Blood Moon kills my own Urza Saga. Just have to be cognizant of that. Opponent's at 10 life with 2 cards in hand. There's 2 Murktides in the graveyard. But as we saw in game 1, where I was unsuccessful in getting any engine online, they were just too disruptive. This game, I've had at least 1 engine online every turn of the game. I'm just going to do some tester spells here with Goblin Engineer. I can dump a... Do I dump a Painter and open up Surgical Extraction as a thing? All right, I think I want Painter in my graveyard just as a double up option. If I get Surgical right now, it sucks, but let's hope that doesn't happen. A 3 mana, 3 blue mana in the pool in my end step. We're just casting Brazen Borrower, going beats. Ooh, 4. Murderous Cut. Murderous Cut it is. Okay, that goblin is deceased. Yeah, I'm going to fetch the Surveil land and then make a construct. Don't need another Grindstone. And I don't care if that gets Surgical. The one's already in play. What do we got? Stifle, Dress Down. What's the play? Constructs in. They tap the blue, then untap their blue. At 10 life, I'm just going to try to bash them with constructs, and then I can Painter just at my leisure. This Painter gets blown out by Dress Down here too, which is the scariest thing they can do against my constructs. Soul Guide Lantern, what's Exile a Hydroblast. I'm going to attack for 5, then probably just jam Blood Moon. I got them in a squeeze in like a million different directions here. Petty Theft, okay. That was thefted. Blood Moon. Are we in? Bowmaster, okay. They're going to have to play this game on a single blue mana. And we've seen Dismember and Hydroblast in large numbers. There's 1 Dismember and 1 Hydroblast counted for, or 2 Hydroblasts. So there's 1 of each left in the deck. I'm still also just winning by beatdowns, which is nice. Oh, now I have Reb too. A Painter's here. I'm going to play Painter pre-combat. And I'm going to name blue. And they're scooping it up. Cool. Yeah, just... Oh, Force of Vigor with no green card to go with it. Glad I didn't name green. Yeah, that's how you beat control decks as Painter. It's not about shoving the combo. It's about getting engines overlaying on top of engines, so a single piece of interaction doesn't stop what you're doing. We had a pretty good churn of cards there for basically that whole game, and it really felt that way, versus looking at 3 up the beanstalks that were milled away from them between my Grindstone and their own Witherbloom commands. They had no engine, they were going 1 for 1, and I had multiple engines, which is the opposite of what happened in game 1, where they had 3 beanstalks and I had nothing going. It's about engines, folks. On to the next round. No sighting of Chaos Defiler yet.
This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks, and groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there.
I'm on the play in round 2. This hand looks pretty good. I'm going to keep it. I got stuff going on. Just lead on a Grindstone, follow with a Saga. Fable coming next, followed by Fable or Activate Saga. Just do whatever I want. I like just putting a grindstone into play, making them figure that out. Gloves are off. This is what I'm doing. This does mean they could just jam a Doomsday or a Reanimate or whatever it is that they play, if they are doing one of those sort of things. I'm playing against Whoop Orc. I feel like this is a known Doomsday player. Maybe I made that up in my head, though. Who knows? Nobody knows anything anymore. I definitely recognize the name. I completely just probably in my own head about the archetype, though. That Lotus battle was sweet, because now I get to develop the Chapter 1 of Saga and still send a Fable. And yeah, they had to force that. That was cool. Force pitching Murktide. All right. They are definitely not on Doomsday. This is probably Scam or Death Shadow. Maybe it's Death Shadow. This is why I recognize their name. I don't know. They did something recently. Ooh, a Blood Moon. That might be too slow, but it might also end the game. We are going to have to stabilize against this Delver, though. Reanimate. All right, we got some scam going on. I'm going to fetch the Surveil land in the end step. Oh, they're still doing stuff. Oh, no. Healthy Voidwalker, gross. Hate that for me. Get the Surveil land before it ends up in the void. Chaos D! I'm not ready for you, but I love you. I don't think I could put that in the graveyard knowing that my opponent has Reanimate in their hand. Uh-oh. I could mill the Chaos Defiler because I actually don't want it and then shove Blood Moon and hope it resolves and then they can never have a swamp. All right. That Reanimate is face up over there. This Blood Moon better work. All right, City of Trader is cool. That at least gets me ahead of Days. Okay, now I just have to not die in 6-point chunks. I would love to draw a Goblin Welder right now. Pyroblast is good. Fable. And I blast the Delver here. I probably blast on their turn, so at least force the negations off. Don't know if that's a card they play, but not interested in it happening. Okay, that took a lot of pressure off. That was an insane turn. Let's see if we can leverage it at all. There is a Pyroblast in the void, but I don't think they're going to be holding that up. Swords of Plowshares. Do not loot these cards away. This is called stability, kids. Swords of Plowshares. Get them. Did it work? Did it work? Did it work? Wow. Stable, stable. Let's go. Don't find a basic swamp. Don't find a basic swamp. I wonder if I should be grinding them. Like, they're a Murktide deck and a Reanimate deck, but I have the best reanimation target. I'm just going to grind them. Fuck it. Shoulder's Edict in the graveyard, plus a land. Pyroblast, pretty good. Okay. We just need this to hold. Blood Moon, carry me home, buddy. Don't find a swamp. Don't find a Troll of Khazad-dûm. Yeah, the huge beat here is that my Chaos Defiler kills my Blood Moon the second they find a black source. Bowmaster Days milled. Okay, Reflections Awake. Enlightened Tutor. GG, kids. Okay. I'm going to pass here and hope that to still fade at least one more swamp turn. Island. Okay. I have Pyroblast for that one. Anything that might come out of that's under control. I don't care about Delver. End step, Enlightened Tutor. Grab the Painter. Painter's Servant. And also copy my Gobbo. Cool. All right. Blood Moon carried. And the Painter Servant did get the combo together. That was a stressful one. Glad we pulled it around. Fury's coming in. Portable Hole's interesting. This is like additional Swords to Plowshares versus Delver and Dauthi Voidwalker, both of which are things I care about. I don't know how aggressively I'm supposed to moon these people. The moon definitely won me that game. But also, if I didn't run a removal spells, I would have lost anyway, because it's pretty slow against what they're doing. I think I'm going to go down one E-Tutor. Cannon is definitely not necessary here. Soul Guide Lantern's great. Pyroblast versus Plow. I think this is the opposite of Salt-type Beans, where the Plow is actually more important than the Pyroblast. I'm even bringing in 2 more pseudo copies of it. Snaring Bridge is great. All my combo stuff's great. I'm actually going to cut another E-Tutor. This deck is just a lot of pressure and good at disrupting me. I don't need that card negativity in my life. I feel like I want at least one Magus of the Moon in here, in addition to the Blood Moon. Maybe even both of them. Where do I find room for these? Fury can be risky because they could discard it or kill it, then reanimate it. I don't want that happening. But it's still just so good against their plan A that I gotta live with it. Maybe a Portable Hole is too much. Because if I'm bringing in 2 Furies also, I'm still +3 removal spells, even if I don't bring in both of the holes. Okay. I'm going to stop where I am. 1 Magus, most of my removal. Well, Chaos Defiler was part of a game. We can put that one on the scoreboard. It was terrifying that it was in my graveyard, but it was part of that game. This hand looks great. I'm in. A removal spell plus multiple 3-drops to jam. That's all I want in life. Underground Sea, go from the enemy. Bloodstained Mire, go from me. I can play draw go too. If he dies, he dies. Okay, I don't know if they're going to have Stifles, but I'm going to crack my fetch. E-Storm in response, that's fine. Let's try to get a little selection with my Elegant Parlor. Dragon Engine. Yeah, I can put that in the graveyard. That's mostly where that belongs. Okay, they are a Daze deck. They are a Force of Will deck. If I just play a Mountain here, and then I can Ancient Tomb and protect my play next turn, I think pumping the brakes here makes sense. Like, they've just played Draw Go this far. I'm going to plow Grief on the front. I just don't want this thing coming back. And my hand has other removal spells in it. Pitched Bowmaster to do that. Okay. It's going to end up being a 2 for 2. Though, of course, if they just reanimate Fury here, they're still doing okay. And if they reanimate Dragon Engine, they have to discard their hand, but they do get different cards. Fury was the take. Interesting. Saga. Okay, I assume they have a basic swamp they can fetch, and their plan is to reanimate Fury and kill either my Fable creature or my Magus. I'm less worried about my Fable Goblin being killed. I'd love to loot away some of these extra lands. There's really only 1 extra land. Urza Saga. Too good. We're not talking about that. And if they have access to a bunch of basics, then maybe I loot away the Magus. I think that's reasonable to consider. Yeah, Swamp Island, Bowmaster. 3 cards left over there. They know every card in my hand except Urza Saga. Reanimating Fury. What a surprise. Who could have seen this coming? Okay, well, now I have to loot stuff away and find an answer to Fury, which plays into Bowmaster. Don't love it. I just draw Swords of Plowshares right now. Goblin Engineer's not bad. I think I'm just going to loot away the Magus. Though Scalding Tarn's not helping either. Alright, yeah. I mean, this is extra damage from the Bowmaster, but I got problems to solve here. Okay, Ping Pong. I take 2. Urza Saga. Goblin Engineer. Blue Blast. Brutal. Portable Hole. We can exile the Orc Army. Take 7. My life total is not very robust at this time. Cycling a Troll in the end step. They got 2 cards left. One of them's Underground Sea. I go to 5. And they passed. Fable flips this turn. That's big news. Big if true. Plateau. And Phyrexian Dragon Engine triggering Orcish Bowmaster is a huge beat, so I'm just going to not do that. If I can survive this turn, though, I'm actually stably treading water by making copies of constructs with my reflection. So making copies. Okay, well, I'm required to block this or I lose. So I'm going to make a construct to try to do that. The Bowmaster's too little to rumble. And if their hand is not helpful, we're actually just stable here. Okay, 1, 2, make a construct. I can copy this thing and actually trade with Fury. It's not even just a bounce off, it's a trade. Soul Guide Lantern, give me some of that. Take that Troll of Khazad-dûm out of your graveyard, please. And stability, tenuous stability achieved, but stability nonetheless. Dress down, no longer stable. Oh wait, Pyroblast. Got him! Okay, well. Oh no, they're tapping mana. They're doing more stuff! Okay, now I lose. I could, what can I do here? I can draw a card with Soul Guide Lantern. It's not going to be a counter spell. They attack next turn. This isn't my main phase. They did this at exactly the correct time. I guess I have to draw a card with Soul Guide Lantern and hope it Swords to Plowshares. Yeah, I'm just going to bust this now. Okay, we're dead. Alrighty, that was a good sequence at the end. That was an exciting game. Magus of the Moon. Okay, they can play around it. I'm on the play. It's a little better here. Do I even want this? Do I want Portable Hole in? That was pretty good. Magus out, actual Blood Moon in. I'm going to do it like this. Chaos D. This hand does very little, but it also doesn't die quick. I'm going to try to keep this. It might be a mistake, but I'm also kind of into it. Soul Guide Lantern is going to have to exile my own Arid Mesa because that's how this card works. There is a legal target, but luckily I'm not planning on using that. I'm going to dump out some petals. Blue-black not known for their artifact destruction, but they are known for their discard effects. Okay, I mean, I can cast Defiler around days next turn. I can also just stick Ensnaring Bridge and see where this game goes. Island Brainstorm. And a Troll Cycle in the upkeep. The classic play pattern. Classic for the last 6 months or so since Lord of the Rings came out. Okay, they've got mono basics over there. Glad I boarded out a Magus of the Moon. I'm going to get the Elegant Parlor and select a little bit. The Dragon Engine is just always there. Put it into my graveyard. Right where it belongs. Okay, 1, 2, 3, Ensnaring Bridge. Just going to see how they feel about this. If this gets a Force of Will, fine. If we just hide behind it for the whole game, fine. Brainstorm. Why doesn't Chaos Defiler destroy lands? That would be what I need right now. I'm just kidding. That would be insane. I actually beat a turn 3 Chaos Defiler at MagicCon in the Legacy Cup in the finals. Luckily, if it could destroy lands, I was never, ever even playing that game. So, mercifully, it didn't. Fable and Mirror Breaker. This seems like the type of thing you'd want to answer if you can. There's the Hydroblast. Okay. Ponder. Shuffled that Ponder. Okay. I think the Ensnaring Bridge is doing stuff. A Welder. Hello. You died to Bowmasters, which I don't love. I'm going to paint everything black if I can. Oh, they're going to dress me down? Smart. Okay, this is just a blank artifact now, which incentivizes me to run the Welder out anyway. Old 1-3. Lumen Grid Warden in play. Bowmaster, obviously. Yeah, that's dead. Ayo. Fable, let's go. Let's keep trying to do stuff. Make a game out of this one way or another. Sick. A Painter and the Orc Army can all attack right now. I am just going to hold back. I'm in the chill and don't do stuff phase of my Legacy career. Cycle Troll for an Underground Sea. Delverino. I'm unlikely to loot here. Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, now my hand is just straight bangers. I can attack with my Goblin Shaman, which gets me 5 mana without spending a Lotus Petal. Fury is nutso-fucko. Chaos Defiler is also nutso-fucko. They're both kind of dangerous to have in the graveyard, because Soul Guide Lantern only gets opponent graveyards. Whatever, Fury's on the stack. I want to get down to 1 card in hand anyway to make well, I guess Delver would be a 1-1 or a 3-2. B-Storm in response. Emergency meeting. Wow, we're in there. Bang, bang, bang. I'm going to put 2 on the Orc Army in case they have another Bowmaster. Okay, squad's clear. Cycling another Troll of Khazad-dûm. They've dumped a lot of those into the graveyard. Fable flips next turn, then the turn after that it could be Furying and Defiling every turn. And if this Fury resolved, I have reasonable confidence that they don't have an interactive spell for it. Oh no! This is really bad. Ruh-roh. This is a really good reanimate target for obvious reasons. Delver, okay. At least it wasn't reanimate, not yet. Fable flips. Do I want to put Delver in the hole? Probably. What am I doing otherwise? It feels wrong calling this the P-hole, so I'm just not doing that. I am stuck under my own Ensnaring Bridge, but if they don't do something this turn... Okay, yeah, there it is. I was about to say, I'm about to start machine gunning all their permanents every turn with Fury. I'd love a Goblin Welder. Okay, so just not doing anything, that's fine. I get the first attack, though. If I get up to 3 cards in hand, crack with Fury into Grief, that suddenly starts favoring me. Next turn, I'll offer the trade with Goblin Shaman for the Grief. Reanimate my Defiler. Ugh. Yeah, we knew that was going to happen eventually. Do they want the bridge here? Do they want the Fury, the Shaman? I've got a few good permanents. They did destroy the bridge, okay. They said, bet. I see your Fury, and I'm not impressed. This has Menace. They must have a removal spell or this attack is shit. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Alright. Their shit attack became a good attack. I am not going to draw with Soul Guide Lantern yet. Oh, this trade is actually fine because the painter is fake news anyway. They probably trade off with the shaman. And if they have a fatal push or whatever, they just get them both. It's fine. Okay. Fatal push gets them both. Okay, I probably need to draw a card now. I can escape Dragon Engine, unearth Dragon Engine. Or I could draw a card. I'm going to draw a card. That seems like the thing I want to be doing. That was a great draw. So was that. Okay. 5, 6 mana available. 7 mana available, actually. When Chaos Defiler dies, they get the trigger. This thing is actually really worrisome to be in the mix. Maybe I'm supposed to board this out against Scam, actually. This is just such a beating. So if I plow Defiler, then cast Fury, I will have a 3/3 still in play. There's a Fury in my graveyard anyway, so I don't think this matters. But if I cast Fury, kill Chaos Defiler, that just kills my Fury. I'm going to plow Defiler. Sorry, buddy. You betrayed me. Now you must die. Forever. Alright, casting Fury. I'm casting it around Daze. They have 2 cards in their hand. Okay, it's not Force Blue card. Reanimate's still good, though. I have a Fury in my graveyard. They got lots of good stuff in theirs. And now my Soul God Lantern's gone. But I'm really glad I took that draw. Okay, they just shipped it back immediately. I'm just going to bash for 3. Or 6. I can counter a Petty Theft. My next mana source gets the Dragon Engine out of my graveyard. Red Blast that, please. That is both a return threat and immediate pressure off. I think if they had any black spell, they would have done that instead. Okay, well, not that black spell. A useful black spell is what I meant, of course. Yeah, if they just want to start jump blocking, that's fine. Ponder, uh-oh. This is where the blue decks take over. We're both in top deck mode. I'm slightly ahead, but they get to see 4 or 5 cards a turn, and I see 1. Chose to shuffle. Good news. Just gotta hope that's 2 lands over there. Bowmaster, not attack. That's good news. Ooh, Fable. Alright, keep these bangers coming for me. Here comes Fury. Jump block, jump block, jump block. Yeah. Okay. That block just happened, which means Fable's even better. We're in there. And I have 5 toughness now. Even if they reanimate a Fury, they go to 10, and I still have a creature left over. Blue to Delta. Explosives for 0. Kills my Goblin and my Petal. That's fine. Okay. Portable Hole. I am going to loot this away. Just going to try to be a little more aggressive than that. Found a Pyroblast for my trouble. I like that. All right. Fury's connecting now. The coast is clear. Let's try to keep it that way. I'm not worried about Murktide region. I am worried about a lot of other stuff, though. Grindstone. And they are super dead next turn. I guess I invest in this Grindstone. They just use Engineered Explosives, and they got problems at 3 and 5 mana. I'm not really worried about my artifacts getting swept up. Nice! Okay, that was a sweet game. Ensnaring Bridge held the fort for a very long time. Chaos Defiler betrayed us, but we did get to see how good that card is once it's in play. It was just on the wrong side. And sweet grindy game. On to the next round.
If you're looking to run a CEDH or 1v1 tournament, Eminence Gaming has your back with Command Tower. With Command Tower's intuitive tournament manager dashboard, you can handle decklist submission and player management with just a few clicks. Players just need to scan the event's QR code for access to the full tournament bracket, including seamless pairings and real-time standing updates. Take the guesswork out of tournament organizing. Try Command Tower for your next event.
I'm on the draw in round 3, with the worst hand I'd consider keeping. I am on the draw, and this is the selection land. If I'm against a Wasteland deck, I might die instantly, but I'm going to keep this for science. Opponent's on 6. Underground Sea. Am I dead? Grief, Pitching, Orcish, Bowmaster. Okay, we're doing this again, huh? 5 cards left in their hand. They're almost certainly a Wasteland strategy. They are almost certainly a deck that can reanimate my Chaos Defiler. So many betrayals. Whose Chaos are we defiling here? Swords to Plowshares was the take. Okay. And they just passed the turn. Elegant Parlor. Oh, it just missed the Dragon Engine. We were almost 3 in a row on milling Dragon Engine with that. Pyroblast into the graveyard. It is not a land. And also, the threats in their deck are black for the most part. Oh shit, we're actually Reanimator. Okay. Rescaminator. Archon of Cruelty in the graveyard. I suspect the game's about to end. Cycling Troll of Khazad-dûm. Underground Sea. And Reanimate. They did it. Okay, I do have 3 more plows in my deck. I'll try to draw one of them. Discard Dragon Engine here. A Source of Plowshares is good. I have no real plan to get Ensnaring Bridge into play, but if I draw Soul Land into Ensnaring Bridge, maybe that's the thing. Ah, get out of here. Don't daze me, don't daze me, don't daze me. Wow, Magic is easy. Okay, go. Now I'm going to lose to just whatever falls up because I didn't find my land drop and it's turn 3, but that was sweet. That was a good draw. I dumped out the Mox Opal because I will need mana eventually, and in my hand, it's less safe than in play against blue-black. Animate Dead targeting my Dragon Engine. They're going to flip those cards into different cards. Wait, what? It entered... Oh, from your graveyard. That's just a 1-2. That's, like, worse than Troll of Khazad-dûm by a lot. If it entered the battlefield from your graveyard. LOL. What a beating. Yeah, now we get to do stuff. I'm going to name blue with this, and Saga will find Grindstone 2 turns from now, and now they're actually on mega defense over there, and they got to figure this out. I named blue because there's literally a red elemental blast in my hand. Maybe naming black's better for snuff out considerations. Naming black also turns on their griefs, though. If they're holding lands or blue cards. Entomb, uh-oh. How many times can they send it on this? How many monsters are there? Atraxa, don't do it to me. Just pass, just pass. Okay. Yeah, just let me have my red blast up and we'll be okay. Wow, okay. I could play backup Painter here. Yeah, I think that's what I do. Because Painter turns on Mox Opal, and I end up with the same mana up. And I am going to name black this time, so I don't get snuffed out. Things are blue and they're black right now. And I can counter a animation spell. Yeah, like I would have got this wrong too, without having seen someone else do it, but this was a huge spew of an Animate Dead. Even like getting it back grief is better than that. Cool, okay. I'm not sure that win was normal, but I don't care. I'll take it. Put it right in the bank. Leyline of the Void comes in this one for sure. A Troll of Khazad-dûm scam deck. I assume they have access to basic lands. I'm not going to get super Moony on them. I might not get Moony at all. There might be spots where it could catch them. All right, I'll think about it. I don't love Ethersworn Canonist. This is a huge flex slot, by the way. This card is just so specific for one subset of matchups that aren't that popular. On Magic Online, it probably makes more sense, but yeah, just keep an eye out for that one. That could be something else in your local meta. If you're trying this deck and you don't have a lot of Storm players, just put a different card there. It's fine. Am I going to board out the Defiler versus the deck that can steal it and use it to blow up my own leyline? Probably. That sucks. But we saw last game how devastating it can be. It killed my Ensnaring Bridge. That's the only reason my opponent was playing the game. Shave on a Pyroblast, an E-Tutor, a Canonist, and Defiler, and just bring in the leylines. I could have more Furies to fight the scam half of the deck. I don't think I want Portable Hull. I don't think I want Torpor Orb. Thorn. This might be a Thorn matchup. I'm on the draw, though. Okay, yeah, I'll keep it light and do it like this. I'll reconsider Thorn if there's a game 3 where I'm on the play. In no graveyard hate, but I do have a steady stream of stuff to do. Opponent snapped off 7. I'm gonna keep. If they reanimate or not me, they got me, but this hand is perfectly fine against the whole scam half of their deck. Mountain, Welder. Welder's in. They didn't entomb in my end step. Good news. Played around the Wasteland. Could not play around Bowmaster. Okay. If I play out the Plateau, they might use Wasteland on it and leave me with Saga, which I'm pretty into, actually. And I don't want to commit Painter Servant just naked like this. Goblin Engineer can get stuff going, though. Or they could get dazed. All right, that's fine. I would much rather play against Dimir Delver than against Reanimator. I'm glad this is the half of the deck they have. Undercity Sewers. Spooky. I wouldn't go down there if it was up to me. They milled a Troll of Khazad-dûm. Wasted the Plateau, as expected. In for 2, and now I get to Enlighten Tutor and send another Goblin Engineer. The Elegant Parlor has been pretty good up to this point, but right now it is representing a land that doesn't tap my Urza Saga next turn, which I don't like. I'm going to put that Dragon Engine in the graveyard again. That thing was just... It's so good for me and so irrelevant for them. Perfect Entomb target. We know one of their cards in hand is Underground Sea from the days that picked it up. Then 5 mystery cards. But I had one of those critical turns where I deployed 2 engines. Engineer and Urza Saga both happening right now. That's not the Underground Sea we saw. Voidwalker, Youth. Okay. I don't care so much for that one. I would love to draw an untapped mana source land. Oh no. Well, we bricked on that. Elegant Parlor. Opponent's going to be hyped to see that. I don't want to draw this Fable, but I also don't want them to have it. But if they have it, then they don't have a Voidwalker. All right, yeah. I'll throw that into the Void. Try to make it look tempting. And I'll just put the win on the stack here. I'm going to name black so I don't get snuffed. Okay, I mean, here it is. I can tutor Grindstone and activate it next turn. It's up to them to figure out how to not die right now. Wasteland's a good answer. Okay, I don't get a Grindstone next turn. They now also have a Wasteland in the Void if they want that. I imagine Fable is like the nuts for them, though. Animate Dead, targeting Troll of Khazad-dûm. All right. I could upkeep Enlighten Tutor for Grindstone and then hope I draw a land on the next turn. But I need a land to do this either way. Yeah, I think I'd rather wait and use Swords to Plowshares to protect myself. Ooh, Voidwalker's getting in. Okay. They're not casting Fable the Mirror Breaker this turn. Ooh, Welder plus Plow is pretty nice. Does Welder need to go after the Troll to be alive, or did I beat the tech creature right now of the Voidwalker? I think I actually need to attack the Voidwalker, because if I Plow the Troll, then the Plow's in the Void, and then I'm never comboing. And Welder. I'm on low resources, but Welder is the most broken card in this deck. So hope it can hold up. They finally replayed the land we saw on turn 1. I'm going to go to 9. I could block this if I need to. I'm not gonna. Voidwalker. Don't like that. City of Traders. That's big. Okay, so I can fire a Fable onto the stack here. And then I can E-tutor in the end step for Grindstone, untap, and zap them. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I'm at 1 if I don't block any other creatures. Fine with that. Displayed land number 4. I guess I lose to Bowmaster if I don't block at all. If I triple block, though, I can't Painter. All right, I just have to hope they don't have Bowmaster. I'm at 1. End step, Enlighten Tutor. Moment of Truth. Force Pitching Force. Okay, this sick Demir Force of Will. Love that. Okay, now what happens? I can flip my... I get a redraw, and I can make a token that can become a Dragon Engine. I see a lot of cards this turn if I just find a Grindstone. Or an Ensnaring Bridge. All right. We're back to life. Do not use this ability. Opponent should be shaking in their skivvies. There's a Saga and a Fable in the Void. I'm at 1. Yeah, the next Orcish Bowmaster just kills me. It's all good. I'm going to attack for what I can attack for here. And then I can Ensnaring Bridge. And I can Weld into Dragon Engine whenever I need to. I really wish I was at 2 life instead of 1. Even 2. I'm not even asking for 5 life. Okay. I will pass the turn from here. The cool thing is I don't have to worry about Dragon Engineering into Bowmaster because I just lose if they have that regardless. Don't play around stuff you can't beat. It's not a useful exercise. And no creatures are allowed to attack. End step, I'm going to Weld Treasure into Phyrexian Dragon Engine and just rip 3 cards. This does unlock attackers, but I get to attack first. Whoa, 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 there's a Bowmaster literally in play. I almost threw that so hard. My finger was on the yes button. Did you all see that? Wowie! High octane magic here. That was fucking insane. Okay, well, Urza Saga, speaking of freaking insane. Well, they're now on notice. They're dead in 2 turns. Wowie zowie. That was so funny. The reverse highlight reel, whatever that is. Okay, passing the turn. Yeah, got to fade Brazen Borrower, Orcish Bowmaster. And if they have some sideboard card that can remove an Ensnaring Bridge. Unfortunately, their Voidwalker is the perfect thing here, because normally, even if they had removal for Bridge, I could flip it out, then flip it back in with my double Welder, but not an option here. If they can remove the Bridge, they win. But if they use Voidwalker, like if this Urza Saga puts them in a spot where they have to use Voidwalker to play Fable the Mirror Breaker to dig for answers to my Urza Saga, then I'm actually in great shape. Engineer, okay. I don't mind if 1-drops attack here. Or 1 power creatures, not 1-drops. Okay, yeah, I'm just going to pass and try to win next turn. And I can flip Bridge out of play and bash if I feel like that's the correct thing to do ever. Okay, their creatures are attacking. Block. Block. Okay, their creatures are dead. I wonder if there's some Descend or Morbid or something that I just turned on. I hope not. Okay. Is there anything I can do about this? I don't think so. Shit. All right, yeah, that was a good play. All right. If I had played out Welder, then they wouldn't have been able to kill their Bowmaster to get it into play. All right. I threw this one. GG. Again, if I had 2 life instead of 1. Okay, game 3. I think I want my Furies in, now seeing how mid-range they actually were there. The Leyline of the Void seemed like such a spew. You know, obviously, if they just have the tee-off reanimate, it's really difficult to beat. What if I go Fury, Magus here on the play and completely get rid of my Leyline of the Voids? That seems like a mistake, though. I do like the Furies. Maybe just 0 Blood Moon is the correct number to be playing. I'd like my number of Red Blasts. Okay, maybe +1 Fury over a Blood Moon and leave the rest of the cards. Elegant Parlor, double Saga. I'm going to keep this, knowing full well that it is risky. This is... So, the Elegant Parlor has been really nice to fetch every time we fetched it, but the last 2 games, it's been the only colored source in our opening hand, which is a very different thing to ask of your deck. Yeah, bin that Leyline of the Void. Embarrassing. A Polluted Delta, pass. Urza Saga. And Painter's Servant. I'm just going to start jamming cards. Entomb. Oh no. Are we just getting Archoned? Yep, looks that way. I'm going to make every card black, although I think it's probably too late for that to matter. Wasteland. Do you want the Saga or the Parlor? Please don't have reanimate. FML. Okay. That happens. I'm 1 mana short of getting Ensnaring Bridge. I'm a turn late on getting Soul Guide Lantern. How can I actually win this game? I think I have to discard Fury, and I have to just go for Ensnaring Bridge. I don't have high hopes that it will work, but this is the line that exists for me. I have to take my big beats, E-Tutor for Bridge, cast it next turn, and hope it holds forever. And at least I wasn't tempted to board out my Graveyard Hate, but also this Leyline being the 8th card instead of the 7th is probably going to be the difference between winning and losing this game. I'm going to discard Saga to play around Daze with the Ancient Tomb. The cool thing is that Grief and Thoughtseize don't matter because I can E-Tutor in response and they can't take the land. Wasteland matters a little bit. Okay, I mean, if they Daze now, they could Daze later. Like using this floating mana to make sure E-Tutor resolves versus just jamming the Bridge into Daze next turn, it's the same thing. So I'm just going to wait till the end step. Enlightened Tutor. Are there 7 cards in hand actually useful? There's a lot of cards here that aren't useful, but they only need 1 that is. Bang. F6. I've won or lost right now. Yeah, Forceful. All right, cool. Okay, so that game 2, the decision not to play out my Goblin Engineer probably cost us the match. I just wasn't thinking about firing it into combat and then reanimating it. I just wasn't worried about it as a combat object, but forgot about obviously that aspect of their deck for a second. And that was just long enough to lose. So this match was winnable with perfect play, and Painter is a difficult deck with lots of stuff to keep track of, and make sure you get your reps if you're going to play it. On to the next round.
The official BoshNRoll Island Ponder Keep shirt is available exclusively through Coalesce Apparel. This Magic Player-owned business is a staple of our community. They keep this channel on the air, and it's my pleasure to partner with them for this product. Coalesce is the best Magic apparel on the market. They have awesome new designs coming out all the time. Use code BoshNRoll to get 10% off your order, only at coalesceapparel.shop.
I'm on the play in round 4 with our first Goblin Mob hand. Just goblin. These are the hands I hate to see when I'm some sort of grindy control deck, where it's like, into the Goblin Welder. Crap, there's another one. And then, oh no, there's a third. I think I have to fetch Basic Mountain here. I see the Enlightened Tutor. I know it doesn't cast that. But if I get wasted off colors here, we're wrecked. Ancient Tomb, okay. Are we the Mirror? Are we Initiative? What's going on over there? This looks like Chalice of the Void, which would actually be perfect because I'm mostly past that already. Urza Saga, you love to see it. Saga's in. Goblin Engineer is in. I think I'm actually just going to grab the Chaos Defiler here. Whatever they're doing, I'd like to ruin it. I don't have any artifacts, so I'm just going to attack with Welder. I could flip Painter into Defiler next turn, and then start defiling. Name Sticker Goblin. Okay, how far is this going to go? There's a Simian Spirit Guide involved. 4, 5, 6. All right, well, if they just Muxus me, I'm in trouble. Second Name Sticker. Okay. Well, this is a free roll. They can't be less than 6 mana if Muxus is where this is going. Indeed it is. Okay, how about a whiff? Just Ringleader and Broadside Bombardier is great. It could have been worse, but still sucks. Hit Ringleader, another Bombardiers, and another Name Sticker Goblin. Well, team, we're in trouble. If Broadside Bombardiers kills Goblin Welder, then we're not doing anything this whole game. Yeah, I was ready for Initiative, not this. I would have got Ensnaring Bridge if I knew the matchup, but obviously we just had to work from Ancient Tomb Chalice. Interesting the Ringleader didn't attack. What are you saving that for? Looks like 2 free damage to me. Yep, and they did zap the Welder correctly. Ensnaring Bridge off the top. Or they're Sworn Canonist. What a stinker. Okay, I don't have double red or an artifact. There's a second Broadside Bombardier in the hand. We don't know if they have a red source, though. So I might as well play to my outs, which is Grindstoning them. Ancient Tomb. Well, I guess they could just kill Painter Servant anyway. 1/2, 1/2. I would have to draw a mana source. Oh, whatever. Painter Servant's coming into play. I'm going to name blue. I'm going to play another Engineer and dump Ensnaring Bridge. I need them to not have a red source, and then for me to somehow survive this combat with an artifact and or I could get an artifact with Saga, with an Engineer still intact. Okay, they have a red source. Double Bombardiers just kills me. Name Sticker. Got 5. Bombardiers. And this Enlightened Tutor would have gotten Ensnaring Bridge if I had fetched Plateau on turn 1. Just one of these things where I played around Wasteland, and then I played into Initiative, and they turned out to be specifically Goblins instead. There were 2 spots where this game was winnable. Okay, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, there's 3 Bombardiers in play somehow. Okay. If I chump block Muxus, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, then they just throw it. Yeah, okay. Super dead. All right, now I know the matchup, though, and I can make those decisions differently. Torpor Orb looks good here. Portable Hole exiles Chalice, but I don't think I care. Right, Soul Guide Lantern doesn't matter. Red Blast pretty bad. Blood Moon pretty bad. Canonist. Canonist is not actually that bad, because it does stop Name Sticker Goblin from ramping. Maybe I'll hold on to Canonist. Leave it in for the first time in its life. Okay, this is my plan. Awkward to bring in 2 Furies and a Torpor Orb. Feels like those aren't exactly friends. His Swords of Plowshare is enough to keep the hand on the strength of. Saga's not exactly super fast. There's no Painter here. I'm going to mulligan this. Okay, this hand looks similar, but I actually think it's better because it has Ancient Tomb in it. I'm going to keep this and bottom one of the tombs. And then I'm going to Plateau Opal pass. How fast can I get to Metalcraft? Construct Opal. No. If I play Ancient Tomb, I can't play Great Furnace. Yeah, it's just Plateau pass. I should put the Opal out, actually, in case they have Trinisphere or something like it. This opens me up to Graveyard Hate. There's also Null Rod. Cool. All right, Null Rod's in play. Urza Saga, save me. Chaos Defiler, save me. Well, funny story. It's actually impossible to put Chaos Defiler into play with a Null Rod in play if it's in your hand, because I have no black mana sources that aren't artifacts. So I have to discard it, then reanimate it if I want to clear this Null Rod. They've got a Ringleader off of a Spirit Guide, which hit Broadside Bombardiers and Goblin Matron. Okay, I will be bigger than Goblin Ringleader starting turn after next. I'm going to save this plow for a name sticker or a Bombardier's. Ancient Tomb. I get a 2/2 this turn. There'll be 4/4s next turn. 5/5s if I play the Great Furnace. Actual red source secured. But they've taken a lot of damage from their own mana here. Bombardiers. Before attacks, plow the Bombardiers. Now they have to think about if they're attacking with Ringleader. Okay, yeah, they're just in. They said, I'm a goblin. Rah, 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 rah. Okay. Construct. They could have Pyrokinesis, which would be really good here. But they'd have to use it right now. Okay. It's too late to effectively Pyrokinesis. Or no, it's exactly... No. That's 4 damage. They could kill 1, leave 1 damage on the other 2/2. That won't finish me off. They do have Pyrokinesis, but it's not enough to actually kill my creatures, like I said. They pitched a Battlecry Goblin for that. I'm going to grab Grindstone, I guess. Doesn't matter. I can't use any of these cards. I'll take Grindstone. And get another Urza Saga in the jam. And pass. They can Matron this turn and potentially Muxus on the following turn. There's Matron. It is super awkward in this build that my answer to Null Rod can't be cast with a Null Rod in play. I think I would want a Badlands in the deck. Maybe over the second plateau, you play the 1 Surveil plateau, and then the normal plateau, and then a Badlands. Name sticker. Chalice on 0. Okay. Ensnaring Bridge, what's up? Okay. That's a good card. Maybe. I would go down to 2 cards in my hand. Bombardier still messes me up. For now. Okay, Ancient Tomb. And I'm going to attack. They didn't block. I'll deal 4 to them. And I'll play the Ensnaring Bridge. Hope this holds. 2 is the magic number that freezes out Bombardiers. If they have a Trash Master, I lose. If they have a Bombardiers right now, very likely kills me. Could I get 1 more damage in? Not if I'm going to play the bridge. Yeah, they're at 3 with this Ancient Tomb untapped. Being at 1 is just such a tilt. If I could find 1 more damage somewhere. Ah, they have the Trash Master! Just in their hand. Don't even have to tutor for it or anything. I guess that makes sense if they matroned for something that wasn't Trash Master last turn. Trash my Construct. Trash my other Construct. This is a Lord, though, which means their creatures can't attack. Unless they sack more Goblins. Okay. I mean, all things considered, that could have been worse. Scalding Tarn. Boy, I wish that could get a Badlands. I will make another Construct. Keep the walls up. They're just trashing it immediately. They said no, sir. Okay. I'll get Lotus Petal since I can't cast it if I draw it. And I'll play Scalding Tarn, which can still get the Surveil land. Okay, they have 1 card in hand. You can tap Ancient Tomb 1 more time. As long as I can keep my hand under 3 cards for a couple turns. Elegant Parlor. Goblin Welder. Do I want this? I think so. That keeps my bridge in play long term if they try to trash it in the future. Also gets me down to 1 card in hand, which essentially dodges Broadside Bombardiers burning me out. If they draw Bombardiers this turn, they win, because they could Trash Master sack itself, kill Ensnaring Bridge, Bombardiers gets it done for Xaxes. If I fade this turn, I think I'll be okay for a minute. Oh no, 3 in the pool. Don't do it. Battlecry Goblin. Okay, that one's fine. That's a shatter, just waiting to shatter something. And they went to 1 life to do that. This is fun. Swords to Plowshares. Don't mind if I do. Okay, cool. If an artifact ever ends up in their graveyard, I can weld Null Rod into that artifact. I don't know how that would happen, but I'm saying it's there. Okay, I'm just going to pass with my plow up. We'll see who the real Goblin deck is. Okay, do I plow the Trash Master now and force some action? I think so. This is the scariest card in their deck. Let's just... Wow, they didn't even sack it. They just let it go. Rather have the life. Torpor Orb. That... Do I even play this? This makes Chaos Defiler not work. Turns off a lot of the cards in their deck. I guess I have to play this to keep the Ensnaring Bridge up. This means Phyrexian Dragon Engine and Goblin Engineer are both worse. Fable is still probably the best thing I could draw, because I can weld Torpor Orb into Chaos Defiler if I can discard it. Fable? 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 Oh, Fury's good too, though. I have to go to 1 to cast Fury. Wowie zowie. Well, if I don't cast Fury, I could pitch cast Fury, and then Chaos Defiler is just gone forever. What is going to 1 do? Alright, here we go. Fury's in. I don't think they play a Tarfire. Oh, right. I should have pitch cast it. Torpor Orb. What a dingus. Nice deck building, me. Okay, I'm at 1. I do have a 3/3 double strike, which means that I'm actually winning if I stop playing cards, which was not true this last turn. Phyrexian Dragon Engine. Not going to play that. Mainly because I can't. Okay, cool. They just packed it. That was stressful. All right. Torpor Orb, as expected, was super awkward. Chaos Defiler, no Badlands in the deck. Would have been insane. Portable Hole is an answer to Chalice and Null Rod, which are now both higher on my radar. Well, Null Rod anyway. I think I want Portable Hole over this Torpor Orb. That was super embarrassing. Do I want more Canonus? I don't think so. Yeah, the rest of this is fine how it is. Swords to Plowshares is good. Welder's fine. Pyroblast is a blank. Opponent mold is 6. This hand's very bad against Chalice of the Void. It's reasonable against Null Rod. This hand doesn't do anything. I'm going to mulligan. The Portable Hole. Okay. I'm good against Null Rod, but this hand also doesn't do anything. Just all dressed up with nowhere to go. There's so much mana. I got to go to 5. Okay, this is more like it. Keep this. Bottom, I think Canonist and Reb. Reb pitches to Fury, which I like. But I'm all to 5, and you got to get rid of something. I have other red cards in my deck. Ancient Tomb. Spirit Guide. Broadside. Okay. Oh, this is honestly one of the most anemic starts they could have. And sitting here with Plow in my hand and a white source, I don't mind this at all. This is so much better for me than Chalice or Null Rod or Mind Sticker or whatever. This is even worse than Rabblemaster. Like, I'd rather see this than a Rabblemaster. With a second Plow. Let's go. They shocked and smashing. And they've got a second Bombardiers. I'm going to delete the first one. I wonder if they would have thrown each other if I should have just used Fury there. Interesting. But my only card to pitch to Fury is Goblin Welder, which I kind of like having access to. The third Bombardiers, okay. Okay, they could attack me for 4 and then throw one of these for 5. I think I'm going to give myself a chance to draw the red card for Fury. This is just so good if I can get it. And if they sack one of these to kill a Goblin Welder, it's fine. I did not draw the red card for Fury, but I did draw potential 5th mana source to cast Fury next turn. Okay, I'm going to plow one of these this turn and hope that I draw Fury. Rabblemaster is in. Beginning of combat, plow a broadside. Okay, deck, it's going to be mana source or bust here. You going to help me out or what? I go to 9. They could fling something for 5, which is not quite dead. They could use the token to pick off the Welder. Yeah, I think that's actually smart. However, land. Not a land, not a red card. Completely useless. This is going to be lethal. Okay, I took a gamble by playing that Welder instead of just pitching it to Fury and ended up getting punished for it. Maybe I'm just supposed to play control there, but that was tight. On to the final round.
We're a few rounds into the video. Thanks for sticking with me. Friendly reminder that if you're still here and having fun, smash that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, you can use my affiliate link for TCG Player to support the channel while you shop for cards, and you can try any deck anytime with a cardhoarder.com loan account for Magic Online. All these links are in the video description below. Now back to the league.
I'm on the play for the final round. I've got Painter, Grindstone, and some selection. I'm going to keep this. Once again, the Elegant Parlor in my hand is slightly worse than it being in my deck. It is possible, even likely, that I would just fetch it this turn anyway, but that does give me a turn to play around Wasteland. Engineer. Do I want this? I kind of just want mana. I'm going to bin the Engineer. Ancient Tomb. Okay, more Ancient Tomb gaming. What flavor are you? Okay. I can play Painter plus Lotus Petal this turn. I'm going to get Plateau, play the Petal first, so I could Pyroblast a Fury or Solitude if I need to, and I'm going to paint it all blue. I could just zap their Ancient Tomb. I think I'd rather just try to combo them out, though. And this Lotus Petal's important to do that. Oh, it's Mississippi River. Okay. Does that change anything? Okay, so I'm going to put the win on the stack, and I am going to Pyroblast their land. This deck can't come back from that. Not in the time frame they need to. I could have E-tutored for... Oh, this deck has Emrakul. But I'm holding Soul Guide Lantern. Okay. I might need to E-tutor for a Ethersworn Canonist. It might finally be time for that. Yeah, if I draw a land, I win. But if I just tutor for Canonist to make sure I never lose, that's pretty good too. Oh, that sucks. Take the control role or be a hero and just rip a mana source of any kind. I can't just grind them out because it's an Emrakul deck. And the Soul Guide Lantern's here in my hand, which can exile the Emrakul in the graveyard. They did just play Mountain, though. But I think this deck has gotten lower with stuff like Tybalt's Trickery. Alright, I'm just going to try to take a draw. Got there easy. Soul Guide Lantern. Question mark. Do I win? They could just Tybalt's Trickery to counter the Soul Guide Lantern, and then I have to do something different. Okay, cool. We're in there. Target you with Sandstone Needle. Or target Sandstone Needle. They might be representing the Carnosaur. I'm going to pass into their turn, where if they Carnosaur, it at least costs them their turn. Grindstone you. And then I can E-tutor for... Okay, they're just scooping. Cool. Okay, Mississippi River. Or Cascade Combo, if you prefer saying normal things with your mouth. Blood Moon's great here. Ethersworn Canonist great here. I could bring in Pithing Needle to name Trumpeting Carnosaur, which is one of their ways out of my locks. Thorn of Amethyst, finally time. Yeah, all these cards we haven't seen show up yet. Fury Chaos Defiler. Oh, I guess we're not going to defile a single permanent in this league. We had one of ours defiled, but it's just not for this matchup, and I'm not going to play wrong on purpose just to make that happen. Swords of Plowshares come out, and I'm a combo deck. I'm a prison deck. I got tutors. And that's my whole strat. Let's do it. Okay, I can Blood Moon on turn 2, which does set back a lot of their mana, because their lands all tap for 2, and that's kind of an essential engine of the deck. Even if their spells are red, it'll slow them down a lot. Sandstone Needle. Ooh, Painter. Do I want to develop this versus getting Welder into play? Yeah, I think so. Tap this for 2 mana while it still taps for 2. That won't be true forever. I'm going to make things blue because Pyroblasts are still in my deck and destroying their lands is good. They could in the Throes of Chaos right now and probably win. Or Throes of Chaos? Is there an in the? Or is it just Throes of Chaos? I think it's Throes. We're about to find out. Oh, what the shit? You're just a name sticker goblin deck using Sandstone Needle? I've been completely hoodwinked. Okay. Alright, well, I was deceived. That's the power of conceding before you give up any information. Sandstone Needle, wow. They're really going for it, huh? Now, I don't think I want to Blood Moon them. I think I want a Goblin Welder and Painter Servant. And I boarded out all my removal, so I just have to combo them. Sick juke. I'm proud of my opponent right now. I wonder if this... Is it possible that this is actually a juke? No, Mississippi River is such a like, there's not 15 cards you could board in and not be that deck anymore, but still use the mana base. It's impossible. Or at least irresponsible. Maybe the basic Mountain in game 1 should have tipped me off. Okay. They didn't play another card. Oh, alright, well. How do you feel about your imminent death? And the Welder means that a removal spell doesn't even beat this. Yeah, Pyrokinesis doesn't do it because I have a second Painter in the graveyard. Alright, Hadoken. We got the for real smiley face in the chat. Yeah, for real. You tricked me. You lied to me about what your deck is. Oh, okay. No, you didn't lie. Okay. This is, in fact... Okay. It's not what I thought it was, but it is a combo deck. This is the mono red sneak attack Stompy. Okay. Lesson learned. I do need graveyard hit, and I might be dead because I used a lot of my resources to fight over this. Okay. Kind of in the danger zone. I'll play another Welder, and probably just have to double block the Bombardier this time. Found mana number 5. Okay. Recognized combat is locked up here. I did not rip Soul Guide Lantern off the top, but I can tutor one. Okay, if I go to 4 here, is that safe to do? I think so. Goblin Engineer. I'm just sending it. There's nothing elegant to do here. Opponent is shouting at me. in good spirits in the chat. Not actually. Soul Guide Lantern in the bin. 1, 2, 3. Grindstone you. In response. Turn. Or I don't have to respond to this. I can save this resolves first. And then respond later. Okay, there goes your deck. And then in response to these, return these to your deck triggers. I can turn Grindstone into Soul Guide Lantern, and I can do this more than once if necessary. Exile each opponent's graveyard. Splat. Okay. Are we good? Can I stop now? Alright, I got juked, boarded completely wrong, and just nutso comboed for the win for a positive record. Okay, Painter's sweet. I think this deck is misbuilt by one black source. I don't know if you need 3 basic mountains versus 3 pseudo plateaus, plateau plus elegant parlor. I would turn either a plateau or a basic into Badlands, just for the ability to cast your Chaos Defiler. We were in the spot where this card would have been great, which is locked out by Null Rod with 5 mana available. Just the deck literally can't cast its answer to Null Rod if there's a Null Rod. That's really awkward and easily solvable. I'd probably turn one of the basics into a Badlands before I cut a colored source in my 3-color deck. Just try it like that. You're a little softer to Wasteland, but you're already soft to Wasteland. You're an Urza Saga deck with 5 Ancient Tombs in it. The main deck bullets are optional. The Canonist, the Bridge, the Blood Moon, the Enlightened Tutor package. Those might be better just as some 4th Aerolingus and Lightning Bolts. And then you're just a more traditional, aggressive Painter deck with another way to win rather than just a more robust package to not lose. Deck's great, though. I mean, I respect Painter in general in the format, and I like playing it from time to time. I actually took Painter to Eternal Weekend probably 10 years ago. A long time ago, but I did play Mono Red Painter at an actual Eternal Weekend event. And the deck has only gotten better since then. Unfortunately, we didn't trigger Chaos Defiler. It was a big part of multiple games, though, in terms of my opponents reanimating it on me, or the threat to do so. And at least we got to saw the garden action, even if it wasn't me doing it. We could see the upside and the downside. Thanks, thank you for asking me to play this. Everyone, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out the Patreon. I'll see you next time.